Hello, and welcome to the Consistent Profits Podcast, brought to you by Inside Out Trading and Brian McAvoy, where the focus is on consistency. Because when you have the consistent part down, profits become easy. Hello, everybody. This is Brian McAvoy with another episode of the Consistent Profits Podcast. Today, I'm excited to be interviewing Tomas Nesnidal. I'm probably going to screw it up again. Nesnidal, the developer of automated trading system. Thanks so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you very much for having me, Brian. It's great to be here.
I hope I didn't butcher your name too much. I know I got it right the first time when I asked, and there we go. I didn't. Anyway, for those of you not already familiar with Tomas, he's known in the trading community as Mr. Breakouts. He's been a full-time trader for over 11 years, specializing in breakout strategies and market internals. Originally from the Czech Republic, Tomas has established himself as a leading expert in these trading techniques. In 2017, he launched his own hedge fund, which is dedicated to breakout trading strategies. And this fund leverages Tomas's deep understanding of the market internals and breakout patterns to capitalize on market opportunities. His expertise and innovative approach have earned him a reputation for developing robust trading systems. The strategies are grounded in rigorous testing protocols to ensure their long-term viability. And he often collaborates with small teams of traders and developers, utilizing high-end technology and genetic programming software to optimize his trading systems. Hey, Tomas, thanks again for being here today, man. I'm excited to get chatting with you, to pick your brain a little bit. You got some cool stuff going on. So, so you've been trading for, 11 years, right? How'd you get started with the trading? What were you doing before that?
Well, I've been trading more than 11 years, and actually that is the part where I've been trading fully automated strategies. But I started pretty soon after I graduated, because I originally studied at film school, so I'm a professional. I used to be a professional film director, and since the industry is always has been quite undercapitalized in Czech Republic. It's not like the US and Hollywood and all these big productions. It's a completely different story. I used to be quite a starving artist, literally. I loved making movies, but also starving artist and always without money. And me and my wife, we always had plans to travel the world. I'm a big traveler. That's my biggest passion besides trading. One day I just basically had to say, stop. I don't want to live like this kind of starving artist full of debts and no income and no future. And I got into trading. And I originally got to discretionary trading, which I did for a while, for a couple of years. But the older I became and the more we finally started to travel with my wife, the more I started to transition to fully algorithmic trading. And I've been an algorithmic trader for, right now it's over 11 years, I think maybe 13, 14. I stopped counting. We launched our hedge fund 7 years ago. And as you said, my specialization is breakout strategies. I love breakout trading. That's what I understand. That's what I do.
Huh. Very cool. Very cool. Well, so now what markets do you trade? Or do you cover a lot of different markets? Or you trading currencies, stocks? Do you trading in crypto? Do you spread it around?
Futures. Or do you have an area no. I'm 100% futures trader. Okay. So all the kind of futures. Right now we trade in our hedge fund 27 different futures markets. Okay. Personally, I trade a little bit less, not the whole scale, but mostly E-minis, indexes, a lot of energies, a lot of grains, soybeans, corn. So basically any future markets with good liquidity and good volatility.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, the energy. I've always kind of been partial to the energy markets. It's just kind of fun. Well, so with your trading, and especially with the algorithmic trading, because I've had some colleagues over the years, especially when algo trading was kind of taken off about 10 years ago, or at least starting to get some traction. I had a couple of colleagues who tried to get into it, and put a ton of money into it in like 2, 3 years and still struggled with it. So how was the experience for you, switching from manual trading to algorithmic trading? How was your experience with that?
My experience at the beginning, it was definitely similar. It was definitely not an easy way. And I think the biggest obstacle when moving from discretionary to automated trading is that there's a lot of naivety. There's a tendency to underestimate the whole bunch of things that need to go with developing a profitable automated strategy. And I was very naive at the beginning. I started with simple ideas, which I took from my discretionary trading knowledge. But discretionary trading and automated trading is a very different thing.
Oh, yeah.
And with discretionary trading, you develop kind of a, I would say, strong cognitive ability. So the more you look into charts, the stronger your brains get trained in specific patterns and situations which are even sometimes hard to describe. Whereas with algorithmic trading, we have to be very, very precise regarding every rule.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, it's exciting because you can code a rule, you see the backtest equity, and you think you have a winner. And it took me quite a while to figure out that the very core, the most important thing about any kind of automated trading is actually robustness testing procedures. And I had to burn my fingers a couple of times, which ultimately was a good thing because it led to my very, very tough robustness testing protocol. I would say no more than 1% of strategies pass this robustness testing protocol. And that's where I ultimately made the leap and started to make money. So from my experience, it's all about the robustness testing procedure.
Well, so without giving away any secrets, when you say robustness, I mean, first of all, one thing I think is huge in trading, making sure everybody's always understanding the words. It means the same to each of us. So when you say robustness, what does that mean to you, so that everybody listening, we're all on the same page?
Right. So it's not a secret at all. So overall, robustness testing procedures means that we did everything in our power to validate the strategy on data which were not used for the development itself, on unseen data. Now we have various ways to do that. We can do the very basic test, which is called in-sample development out of sample data validation, which of course it's a good start. But we have other techniques as well. We can use cross-validation. We can cross-validate on completely different markets, which were never used during the development process. So it's a true unbiased look at your strategy. We can split the data into different parts and use different. Each block can be used for further in-sample training and out-of-sample validation. So these are well-known techniques, and they've been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. I would say the key thing is, or was for me, I use all of them, and I think the hard part was to figure out how to combine all of them in a viable form, because each technique, as a standalone technique, as we know them for robustness testing, all that I just named, it's not enough. It's not sufficient. So we need to really combine them into a thorough and very precise protocol. And that took me some time to figure out what is the series of actions, what is the order of these actions, how exactly set them up, and how to create these thorough robustness testing procedures. But anything that can be used, it is part of my protocol.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, that's, and I'm glad to hear you say that, because yeah, one thing that I don't know about you, but one complaint that I've heard on a regular basis over the years from traders is, especially when the subject of like back testing comes up, and they'll be like, it's such a waste of time, and every time I back test, the results never match my real trading results. And I'll try to get across them. It's like, maybe you don't understand the testing procedure.
Right.
That's why. If you're testing properly, your results should align.
Exactly.
And if not, then that's an indication that you should at least double check your testing procedure to make sure it is actually giving a good representation of how the strategy should perform.
Right. And that's not just, so this one part. And then we have the second part. So exactly as you said, traders complain, the real life trading performance is not matching my backtest. It's not supposed to be, because the backtest, or everything we did with the backtest, it was on a certain order of data, which will not repeat by itself in the future. So the first step we need to do once we have a robust strategy, we actually need to randomize the order of our backtest data. We need to so-called bootstrap the data, or create a Monte Carlo permutations, and then simulate what the outcome of a different order will be like. And then we have a good view on the possible future performance. So it definitely is going to be little bit different than the backtest data, but at least we can simulate that. At least we can shuffle the order of backtest trades 10,000 times, have 10,000 different possible variations of upcoming future, and see what's going to happen. And we do this properly, the strategy will work.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So, just roughly, I mean, and this is something that you do on an ongoing basis, working with clients and stuff, right? But how long does it take when somebody, approaches you and says, I got this strategy I'd like to automate? How long does it typically take for you to, work with somebody, take their strategy, automate it, and run it through your various testing and everything for validation? How long does that usually take?
That's a very good question. So it can be a very, very tedious process. So that's why my main objective at the very beginning was to automate anything I can. And ultimately, in our hedge fund, we automated even the things that I never believed would be automated. The reason is that we really need to prototype a lot of strategies to find a few which will be viable. So that comes together with another part of my trading, which is having a trading model, which I developed at the very beginning. And it's a simple model, and with this model, I can just swap different rules or components and create a lot of variations of prototype strategies. So if we have to talk about how quickly it takes to create a robust strategy, it depends. If the automation is set in place, it can, and if there's a framework around it, and if it's all well built, it can take just a couple of days. But during these couple of days, we will probably test the tens of thousands of possible candidates, and we will probably scrap probably at least hundreds of potentially good and viable candidates which do not pass through all the robustness testing criteria. So in a couple of days, we can have a first strategy, especially on markets which are easier. Mostly indexes are easier. If we want to develop a strategy on some more complicated market like bonds or currencies, it takes more time. Usually when I need to create a portfolio, like let's say a new portfolio for my hedge fund from A to Z, a portfolio, let's say 12, 15 strategies, it takes about between 2 and 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, sounds reasonable. Actually, that's pretty efficient for what you're talking about, what you have going on. I know, like one buddy of mine who, well, the one who wrestled especially with it for like about 3 years, and he had a lot of help. He had some good help, so he wasn't just doing it on his own. But yeah, it took him quite a while. And so yeah, to be able to knock it out, even something fairly complex, in just a few months, that's pretty good. Now, so do you ever venture over into the options space, or are you dealing primarily just with direct strategies?
I used to trade options in the past, and I like option. There's something. I know it sounds weird, but I love the complexity of options, right? Like anything you can do with it is just totally crazy. It's you can have so many combinations and so many unique versions to trade options. So I'm fascinated by options. And actually, I used to have a teacher, trading teacher, many years ago. Unfortunately, he passed away during COVID, and he was a great guy. He was a former CIA agent. And he was a genius. He was very, very smart, spoke many languages, could fly all the fancy jets and military jets. Very smart guy. And he was into options, and he taught me a lot about options, but also about risk management. And I remember one year we did an experiment with a small group. He explained well about options. He explained that options have the advantage of having the edge being built in already, because when we buy an ITM in the money options, the more it goes in our favor, the higher the delta is. It's becoming 50, 60, 70. I don't know how technical I am now. And if we're losing, it's becoming 40, 30. So what it basically means that the more we're getting into the money, the more we're making, but the more we're getting against the position, the less we're losing. It's fascinating, because once you get 1 point in the money, you're losing 50% of that point. Once you get 2 points, you're only losing 40%. Whereas on the other side, you're gaining 1 point, you're gaining 50% of the point, and you're gaining 60 and 70. So there used to be this built-in edge. It's probably too efficient nowadays. It's been 15 years ago. And we did an experiment. We randomly, every day, absolutely randomly picked 20 markets. We bought in the money options. Sometimes we bought calls. Sometimes we bought puts, and we just played with this directional built-in bias. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, in 6 months we made 100% return on our account. Nice. With random entries, completely random entries. So he actually taught me something very, very important, which goes with me until today. Mm-hmm. It's all about risk management. You literally can make money on random entries if your risk management and your exits are right. The other question, different question, is what the equity curve will look like. Like with random entries, it will be all over the place, but you still can make money, especially with good reward risk ratio and at least reasonable percentage in your favor. So that was a fascinating lesson for me. Just imagine something which is random and you still can make money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've run across a couple of guys who had random entry strategies. And
really, oh wow,
yeah, well, and yeah,
that's great.
It was all in the risk management, the trade management, and so I'm trying to remember who it was. One guy I had on the podcast, matter of fact, he was telling me that one guy that he worked with, and it was kind of a famous, at least within their circle, was kind of a famous thing. The guy would pick up a soda bottle, and he thought he was like calling aliens on Mars for his trading tips. And everybody else in the office, they were giving him a hard time about it. And when the trade, would go against him, they're all giving him a hard time. It's like, yeah, you're an idiot and all that kind of stuff. But when the trades were going in the right direction, they would leave him alone. It's like nobody's saying anything. They don't want to look stupid. And the funny thing was, he was profitable because they were, by everybody around him, giving him that reinforcement of either silence or giving him a hard time. It forced him into good risk management. It's like, yeah, when he's wrong, he's got everybody telling him, oh, you're stupid. So it would made it easy to cut his losses short. And when he's in a winner, nobody's giving him a hard time. So it was easy to let him run. And it was like indirect reinforcement of just, super basic risk management. Yeah, cut your losers short and let your winners run. And it works.
Yeah, classic. That's a nice story. That's funny.
Yeah, so funny. But yeah, I mean, and that's one of the cool things about trading is, yeah, there's certain nuances about it when you run across them that can work so wonderfully well. I mean, going in a different direction, it's like there's certain businesses that some people don't realize. When we first look at it, it's like, how can they make money at that? But then when you think about it, it's like, wow, holy crap, they're sitting on a cash cow. I don't know if you remember when ATMs, like bank, automatic teller machines first came out. Where I lived, there was this one. It was a major street, real busy, and there was this one lot that the bank where I banked. They bought this lot on this busy street, and there was nothing on this lot except the ATM, a little cover for the drivers when they come through, so it's raining, it doesn't get rained in, and a light. There was nothing else on this property. And I'm like, how in the hell can they afford that? How can they be making money at this? And then I got to thinking about it. It's like, well, yeah, they're not charging me because I have an account there, but everybody else driving by the banks elsewhere, okay, so they'll pull in, they make a quick cash withdrawal of say, like $40, and they're paying a $2 fee. Well, okay, the bank just made 5% like that. And
Right.
they're rolling their money over. All they got to do is roll their money over 20 times a month, and they're making 100% a month. It's like, oh my God, that's an insane business model. They're killing it. But at a first glance, it's like, what? What? No, that doesn't make sense. And there are other businesses I've run across where the returns are just insane, but they're perfectly legitimate, and we pass them every day and don't even realize it. And so it's hilarious because, like with trading, like you're talking about, certain edges, like with the options and stuff like that. And there are some, there's some people who, yeah, they jump on, they figure it out and they jump on it and they ride it and they don't say anything because it's like, shh, make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's
exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Very cool. Well, so at your site that you run, Better System Trader. Now you over there, you're teaching
Better Trader Academy. Sorry, it's Better Trader Academy. BetterTraderAcademy.com. Yeah.
Now at that site, you're working with traders. You got educational programs going on there, and now do you do some of the algorithmic help there as well?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we actually established Better Trader Academy together with Andrew Swanscott, who runs the Better System Trader podcast. But we run the Better Trader Academy together, and we have clients from over 40 countries. I think 45 countries. All the levels we have, from beginners to professional hedge fund managers, big guys.
Wow.
We have a client, for example, who manages money for like an external entity for Morgan Stanley. So we have some really, really interesting clients there.
Okay.
And yeah, and we basically provide education from A to Z about algorithmic trading, how to start, how to develop your strategy, how to test them, how to do the robustness test procedures. And we just keep going up. And then, of course, we have this small group of very professional traders where we do very fancy stuff like portfolio constructions, market qualities, a lot of different things. So that's what we do. We do not offer any strategies. We just we say we love to teach how to do the fishing, but not providing the fish itself, right?
Oh, very cool. Well, so for the listeners that we got on the show today, if they're just an individual trading their own account, what is it like when they first come to work with you?
Usually most our clients when they come out of the blue, it's because they read my book, which is called The Breakout Trading Revolution. So it's available on thebreakouttradingrevolution.com, and it's a basically book where I described and shared my model, which I used to develop a breakout trading strategies. Right now in our hedge fund, we have almost 3,000 viable strategies. So a lot of people complain it's difficult to create strategy. I'm saying it's not difficult. You just need to know how to do it. You need to have the model. You need to have the formula. Once you have the formula, it's easy to develop, well, maybe not easy, but it's much easier to develop a viable breakout strategy. So I actually share this formula in the book, The Breakout Trading Revolution. And I could share it because I lose nothing by sharing it. The formula is universal, and it's just about how each individual trader uses different components inside of it. So there's no way to exhaust it. And we've seen phenomenal results with this formula, which I present in the book on markets in the US, in Australia, in Asia, in Norway, in Russia. All over the world, people are reporting that the breakout trading formula, which I share, works for them. And I think that's the beauty. We have something we can share while not losing anything Why not? So that's basically where most clients start. They read this book, and then either they just continue by themselves, which is completely fine because I described all the important stuff in the book, or they decide to go with our more advanced teaching, where of course we basically go deeper with the same stuff. We keep the same, we talk about the same stuff, but we go deeper. We talk nuances. We help clients to implement it practically, and then we go so on and on and on and on.
Huh, cool. Now, is it like a series of courses, or do you have a community as an ongoing kind of thing, or?
Yeah, we have both. We have even anyone who purchases the book from the Breakout Trading Revolution.com will automatically be invited to our community. So we have a community where we share. It's completely for free. I do once a month. I do a live hangout with all the Better Trader Academy community members, so people can ask me questions, and I reply the questions and help them with day trading. And then we have programs. We actually have 3 levels of programs. We have programs for total beginners who just read the book and want some help at the very beginning. Then we have a mid-tier program, which is called a Protege, which is a long-term 6 months program where we help develop and launch first portfolio and then manage the portfolio, and we do everything with students. And then we have just invitation only program, which is called the Elite. And in the Elite program, as I said, we have mostly professional traders, professional hedge fund managers, money managers, but that's invitation only, and that's a small group. We deliberately keep it very, very small.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and like you were talking about some of the different players you got in there. That sounds pretty awesome. So very cool indeed. Now, you guys, so you have your podcast, and you said you got that on the YouTube channel as well, correct?
Yeah, we also have YouTube channel, Better Trader Academy on YouTube. So Better Trader Academy show where I share a lot of trading tips. Then we have the webpage, bettertraderacademy.com, and then we have the book, which is the breakout trading revolution.com.
Gotcha. Well, so I got to ask. I mean, super basic question. So you like focusing on breakout strategies. Why breakouts rather than trend following strategies? Almost like the whole rest of the world likes trend following strategies. Why
Yeah, that's a
breakouts
brilliant
instead of being a trend follower?
That's a brilliant question. And I can tell you, I've tried everything. I've tried breakout trading, mean reversion trading, statistical arbitrages, option trading. I've done it all. And there's something about breakout strategies which just resonates and aligns with me. And it's anything else, I don't feel the excitement. I'm not able to go to such a depth like I can go with breakout trading. And I can't explain it. It's just something when I talk and see and do anything related to breakout trading, I'm home. I know exactly how this works. I know exactly what to do. When traders ask me why my strategy is not working, I can just have a look at the code and I know already why it's not working, because I'm very familiar with all the fundamentals of breakout trading. And I think it's probably got something to do with all the years which I spent as a discretionary trader, because as a discretionary trader, I was a momentum trader, which is pretty much similar to breakout trading, automated breakout trading. So I developed a lot of cognitive abilities, as I said at the beginning, and I think something in me, in my brain, just wants to keep harnessing these developed abilities from my discretionary trading. So maybe that's why I feel home with breakout trading and not with the rest of all the other directions.
Well, actually, you brought up something that's really an important point that a lot of traders, especially aspiring traders who haven't quite turned that corner yet, it's really important to pay attention to. So it doesn't really matter if you like breakouts or reversals or trend following or whatever, but to find what resonates with you, what just plain feels right, but then to develop that expertise with it, with the method.
Right.
that really goes a long way. I run across so many traders and they're jumping from this to that to this to that to this to that, and they never stick with anything long enough to really develop the expertise and, like you
Exactly.
said, the cognitive abilities with that method, to where you just plain you get good at the method. And
Exactly. That's it, Brian. That's the secret. From my experience, that's the secret. I've been working with a lot of traders, and the biggest mistake I see is jumping around from one direction to another, to another, to another. The people, I have friends who are phenomenal traders, phenomenal traders.
Mhm.
These friends, they focus on one thing, they go deeply, 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 so they understand, they develop cognitive abilities, and they're experts. And that's why I chosen to stay with the breakout trading. That's why also I'm called Mr. Breakout in the trading industry. People call me Mr. Breakouts because I have such a deep expertise in breakout trading, and I keep deepening it. That's like my synonym. It is like my nickname.
yeah.
It's for a reason. I developed the expertise, and I recommend anybody who wants to succeed in trading, focus on one particular direction and develop an expertise. Experts are the best paid people in the world, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Well, and if you think about it, a lot of the most famous traders, the ones who became legendary, they had a specific method, or maybe just one or two, but it was a very small focus, and they were extremely good at that.
Right.
And that's how they were able to, build their, their account and their fame, was because, yeah, they just really got so good at this. Yeah, they're becoming, a rock star at it, and could just crush it. I mean, even going back to guys like Nicholas Darvis, he had a very specific method, and that's how he was able to, do what he did, traveling the world back in the days before we even had long distance phones. And a lot of the other traders, like I said, the legendary traders, like they were just playing really excellent at their thing. And if you think about it, that's also that's where you're going to develop the confidence to be able to go to the markets and keep a cool head. Is when you're good and you're good.
Right, and it's really it's just building up. So, for example, breakout trading is my specialization, but even breakout trading can be dissected further to in day trading, breakout trading, and swing trading, breakout trading. And for some reason, for a long time in our hedge fund, we were much better in swing trading. Then I had a student. Actually, we had a student in Better Trade Academy, and he was phenomenal in day trading.
Mhm.
Phenomenal. So of course we recruited him. He's part of the hedge fund team right now because that was our weak point.
Right.
But all he did, he narrowed it even further. He said, "I'm going to be breakout trader, but only day trader." He doesn't care about swing trading at all. That's his specialization, and
Mhm.
he got so good in that just because of the focus. So I
Yeah.
think it's really important to narrow down the focus and just become specialist.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. Well, it's a good thing, what you have going on, and it sounds like you take really good care of your people. It's cool that you have the different levels for beginners and intermediate and kind of that elite level. That's really awesome. And so, yeah, and as far as being able to join the community, now the community is just kind of open. That's everybody mixed, right?
So in the community, so anybody who at least gets the book, the Breakout Trading Erosion book, is invited to the community. So in the community, yes, we have a mix. We have people all the age. We have people from the entire world, from the US, Europe, India, Australia, New Zealand, just everywhere. It's a fun community. It's a nice, supportive community, and especially our hangouts are very interesting. Sometimes we share ideas, sometimes we share opinions, and it's nice. We both know that trading, especially algorithmic trading, is quite a lonely business.
Mhm.
It's fun with the community, and a lot of people, a lot of my friends are actually my former students. I have a trade, even my very successful trading friends are most of them are my former students. So I'm quite happy that I decided to go this path as well, and it enriched my social life as well. It's
Yeah.
really important to keep the social interaction with others and meet other people, and traders are great people. They smart, they have great ideas, they're driven mostly.
Mhm.
So who wouldn't want to hang out around traders, right?
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. No, you're right. That's been my experience ever since I started helping other traders. Like there are a lot of good people in this space, and
Yeah.
yeah, being able to help people turn the corner, get past their obstacles, what's holding them back, and get to where it's like okay, yeah, now I know what I'm doing. And yeah, this is kind of cool. And to be able to talk to other people about trading instead of people, you start talking trading and their eyes glaze over because it's like they don't get it.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
oh yeah, so,
Exactly.
very cool, very cool. Well, we need to go and wrap things up. I totally appreciate you taking the time today. And as far as what you had to share as far as what you have going on and your advice for traders, I think it's good, solid advice. And for everybody listening, if you liked what you heard today, make sure that you swing by, get his book, swing by the site. I'll have the links in the description and the show notes. Um, and don't just let this podcast be one where you listen to it and it's like, that was cool, and then tomorrow you've forgotten about it. If it resonates with you at all, go ahead and connect with Tomas. He's a good guy. You can tell that just by what you've heard. He loves what he does. He's got his heart in the right place. He likes helping people. So if it resonated with you at all, go ahead and swing by his site, grab his book, connect with him, and make a difference in your trading. And other than that, you got any last words of wisdom for our listeners today?
Well, for everybody starting out with trading, I would say a word of encouragement. Do not give up. It's doable. It's not easy in the beginning. So the beginnings are always hard everywhere, but have will, have persistence, have desire to succeed, and anything is doable. I saw people I would never ever believe they would make it, and now they're successful traders. So you definitely can make it too. And I'm wishing you all the best. And thank you very much, Brian, for having me. This was fun.
Oh yeah, I totally enjoyed it. It's been a good talk with you. And everybody, if you enjoyed the podcast, also remember to go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Give us a like down below if it's on YouTube, and tell your friends about it. And other than that, make sure you come back for the next episode of the Consistent Profits Podcast. We'll talk to y'all soon. Cheers. Thank you for joining us today on the Consistent Profits Podcast, brought to you by Inside Out Trading. Make sure to swing by InsideOutTrading.com and pick up your free copy of Break the Cycle. 10 things you can do to stop reinforcing the past and get your trading on the right track. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe on your favorite channel, and we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.